All right. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy John, aka Trey with John. It's been a while since I went ahead and kind of made some videos for you guys, so really excited for today's call, right? But more than anything, I want to say I appreciate you guys for continuously showing support, dropping comments down below, liking, subscribing, and even reaching out to me sometimes on my personal social media pages, right? On Instagram, just kind of asking questions. So really appreciate you guys, and if you guys have knowledge or if you've gained knowledge from this YouTube video, go ahead and leave a comment, go ahead and go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Let's run these numbers up. Road to 1K, we're almost there. Let's definitely crack that this month. And yeah, let's get down to it, right? So today's going to be a super important video, right? As you can see from the title, we're going to be doing top-down analysis, right? And this is super important because I feel like most people don't really understand what top-down analysis is and why it's super important to trading, right? Now, this goes for, may not really relate to your scalpers, but day traders and swing traders most definitely, okay? So let's get into it. Now, as you can see here, we have GBP USD up. And what you guys want to start doing, right? I'm going to get rid of these EMAs for a second, or SMAs. And let's start on the monthly time frame, right? Now, this is the monthly, right? I like to start from here in the beginning of every single month because I want to project or at least understand what is expected of this month, okay? So what's happening now? So what you want to do with top-down analysis is you want to pay attention to areas of high demand and high supply, okay? Now, if you guys understand, in my past videos, I talked about support and resistance, supply and demand, right? Kind of the same thing. But the one thing that really helped me understand supply and demand is that it's on higher time frames. Simple. Daily and up, that's supply and demand, right? Anything below that, not really, right? The 4 hour, the 1 hour, I just see those as minor areas of support, minor areas of resistance, but not necessarily a really, really major key strong level, okay? Now we're on the monthly, you want to pay attention to these areas, right? So we're going to look right here, right? And the reason why we would choose this area, very simple. We had some very strong rejection here on the monthly, and then price pushed down from there, right? After price broke this level, what happened? We came back down for a retest and then pushed right up, right? Again, what happened? We broke this level again. Price came back into it for the retest. This could have been a possible retest as well, depending on how you look at it, and a massive move down, right? Now, at the same time, remember, this is off the monthly, so these moves are very, very, very high as far as pippages, as far as risk to rewards, right? We get the best probable setup at these levels, okay? Now, you want to look a little bit further down on GU, and we have another possible level right about here. Now, why is that? Because we have support forming, right? And then price pushed up from this level. Again, support forming, and then here we kind of had support get broken, come back up for a retest in a way, and then price tanked. Then we had another proper retest. So you can see these are major levels, right? So these are our major areas of supply and demand, right? Demand meaning people want to buy it, right? So demand is going to be your support areas, and then supply meaning people want to sell off are going to be our resistance. Now we take another look, and what do we have currently on GU, right? We have no historical data now, right? GU has reached historical lows, right? Not the all-time historical low, right? Because that would be this wick down here, but we are kind of in that region of our historical lows, right? Now, what has happened every single time that we've been here? Price has pushed up, price has pushed up, price has pushed up, right? But every time it pushes up, what happens? We hit this rejection, we fall. Hit this rejection, we fall. Ultimately, we're in a what? Downtrend, okay? So remember, we're on the monthly time frame, so now that we understand what the monthly looks like, this is when we can go down to the weekly and get a better idea of what's happening and what's going on. And now you can see on the weekly time frame, after we hit this high, we began to break structure, right? Because after we hit this high, price came down, we made these lows, and these lows were violated, right? Price broke it, came back up, broke it again, came up, retested, broke, final retest here. We pushed down, we had another level right here, right? Price retested, and then we push down again, right? And then we have another level right here, okay? And that's about it. So you basically get the point, right, of what's going on here. Now that we understand that, we go on the daily time frame, and all you want to look for is, are we going down? Are we in a bearish momentum? And if we are, just locate the lower highs, and you guys are easy. Like, it's solid. Like, that's all you really got to do. And once price gets into that area, right, of the lower high, you got to look for these confirmations. So for example, we have some good lows here. Price has not traded back into this level, so this would be one potential area for a sell in GU, right? And then over here, right, price pushed up technically in this area, okay, and it came back down, right? Now, ultimately, people would say, okay, I want to look for retests here, which is, somewhat valid, but you have to wait for the confirmation. The confirmation was never there on the daily. I'll explain that later, right? We're mainly just looking for like a bearish engulfing. And then finally, price came up to the same high, and we need to wait for a bearish engulfing, right? We got a bearish engulfing here, so you could have looked for shorts anywhere on the next day. You'd have been fine, right? Price went 192 pips. Now over here, right, we have this bearish engulfing candle right here, right? But it doesn't matter if it's a bearish engulfing. What matters is where that bearish engulfing happened. It happened at a major area of supply, right? And it's okay. Sometimes price will go in, trade into this supply a little bit, and then start to trade down. That's okay, right? We can overextend. You just want to look at price rejecting somewhere in this area. So now that we see this candle gave us a bearish engulfing, meaning that the closure of this candle closed underneath the wick right here, indicating that bearish engulfing. The moment you saw that, right, depending on the EMAs and how everything plays out, we can click on the SMAs. And if we were to replay it back to this day, right, the SMAs don't look that great. We are underneath here the 50, but we're floating above the 20, right? So it's a little bit in between, but depending on if you were really with the sells and that bias, you could take a sell position here or look for it on the next day. So now that we know that we can look for sells here, we go on the 4-hour time frame, and as I mentioned, you want to watch for the lower high. That's it. That's where you enter. So let's do it here, right? What did price do? Created highs in this area. After it created highs, it fell all the way down to this level, breaking these lows. Okay. Now, what does price have to do? Come back into these lows for a possible retest. And I like this area because we have wicks, right? AKA what? Supply. In this area, price came back as demand pushed up and we broke back down, okay? So everything is looking really solid. It's looking really, really good. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, if we just bring it back slightly, right? You notice price came down. Now price pushed up, and now you're waiting for a reason to get in on the 4-hour, right? You see the 4-hour gave us a wick. Even though it gave us a nice bullish engulfing, you understand that we are looking for the retest here. So you're being patient, and you're just waiting for possible signs of sells. Now, if you wait on the 4-hour for like a bearish engulfing, this bearish engulfing will be 73 pips, massive. So on the hourly is where I like to look, right? Now we have this candle here. Can we engulf this candle? Right? Technically, we have not engulfed yet, right? We need to close underneath the open here, okay? And for a strong bearish engulfing, we would need to close underneath the wick, okay? So you're kind of waiting at this point, and there it goes. Not quite, right? You see, we kind of rejected that level, so realistically, I would probably not take that sell, right? And that's just based on my rules and how I trade. Now, if we're looking on different time frames, you probably find a better entry. Right, on the hourly, this would have been the actual entry candle itself, okay? And depending on where you were taking it, you could have taken it down, but of course, that entry candle, price shot up 12 pips, well, actually about 18 pips, and then finally tanked, right? So you always want to put your stop loss above the previous high, as always. But if we were looking on the 30-minute time frame, right, let's go back to here, 30-minute time frame, right? So far, no bearish engulfing. No bearish engulfing. And there it goes, right? Bearish engulfing. What can you do? Short position here, stop loss either above this level here for these wicks or realistically above the entire structure. And since we're going off of 4-hour levels, your TPs can be 4-hour levels as well. Now, where are you looking to take your first profits? Right at the bottom of this range would be 1.62 pips. Really wouldn't make too much sense. The next level I'm looking at would be this level over here. Somewhere down here, right? Now, why would that be? We had resistance here, right? Price pushed down, resistance, pushed down, resistance, pushed down, broke above, came back as support, and we shot up. So this is a major key level. So I'm assuming price to get back into this level, right? Ultimately, this is the target. Oh, almost a 1 to 4 risk to reward, right? About a 1 to 4 here. And then we could play this out, see how, it does play. And nice melt, right? Of course, we had the knowledge of knowing what would happen prior and beforehand, right? But this is what I really just want to show you guys. And I was actually able to catch, trades like this on GU, right? Because I understood the market structure. And that's all that you guys need to understand. What is the market structure? It starts from the top-down analysis at the end of the day, right? And that's the biggest thing. Start from your monthly in the beginning of the month if you don't understand where you are, right? We understand we've been dropping massively on the monthly. We're looking for sells. On the weekly time frame, same thing, looking for sells. On the daily time frame, right? We understood that we were around this level when we first checked it, and we knew this was a level where price had previously rejected massively, and we're waiting for that sign. And all we have to do is just kind of sit on our hands and be patient, and that's the key, right, to trading, is just kind of sit on your hands and be patient, right? So now we can probably take a look at the current GU market, 4-hour time frame, and let's start marking up some levels and just possibly see what could happen next, right? So what happened here? Price left these lows on the daily time frame. Now, more than likely, when we get back into this level is where I want to start looking for my shorts, right? So I go on the 4-hour time frame. Everything looks good, right? Pulled back, dropped, waiting for another pullback into this area, into this level. And then we're solid, right? On the hourly, everything also still looks very fine, looks very clean, right? So once price pulls back into this 4-hour level, right, and I'm basing this off of a daily retest, right? Off of the 4-hour, wait for it to get here, give us a nice wick or a somewhat rejection, showing us that there are sellers in this level, in this area. Once we get that 4-hour wick rejection, go on the 30-minute, 1 hour, and wait for that solid bearish engulfing and then take it, right? And what I like to do as well is, include the sessions. Only trade this during London session and New York session. That should be the only times, right? And then also, use your EMAs to your advantage too sometimes, right? There's many different ways to trade this. Just depends. Let's go on the daily one more time. Yeah, it just depends, right? So that was basically the end of the this call here, you guys. I appreciate you guys for checking me out, and hopefully you gained some valuable knowledge here. Just remember, top-down analysis. Start from the monthly, weekly, daily. Get your zones there, and don't take trades until price hits those zones, and you're going to have the highest probability trade. Always follow the trend, and if you miss the trade, it's okay. There's always going to be a better opportunity around the corner, okay? So I appreciate you guys, and if you guys need anything from me, please leave a comment down below with more videos that I should be doing. Like this video, share it if you need to, and ultimately, let's just run it up, guys. I want to make sure that we can get this family to 5, 10, 20,000 subscribers. That would be ridiculous, and I think we can absolutely get there. But yeah, so you guys have a great one. Peace, love you, fam. Take care, and later.